Hey guys, it's Beginnings here. Hope you guys are having a wonderful weekend so far. Today's video is going to be on Alice. She is probably one of the supports that got like the biggest change with the new enchantment system. So basically, I always take the ult enchantment. I don't know what else to call it. I don't know the actual name for any of the enchantments. I'm sorry guys. Where basically whenever you cast your ult, it immediately reduces the cooldowns of all of your abilities by 50%, or your basic abilities maybe, and then it also gives you 20% CDR on top of that. So it basically gets rid of the early game or early to mid game lull that Alice has, where she's very weak and she isn't useful. The reason this is so good is because once Alice hits 40% CDR, she becomes by far one of the strongest supports in the entire game. But as a support without a lot of gold, it generally takes a little bit of time to get to that point. So all it does is make it so we're getting to that 40% CDR point a lot faster, while or after you ult, basically. You can see I landed a pretty nice stun there. We're just making sure that the Kali is not endangering our junglers' camps. Again, our enchantments really aren't doing much yet, but you'll see once we hit 4, boy, do we start popping off. I don't believe we actually started Waterstone this game, but you can definitely do that and then just sell it later on for the Vision Ring item. It's kind of necessary for Alice, like even if you're not like against invisible allies, it's really useful for her to get vision. It also gives you 15% CDR, I believe. I hope I'm not messing that up. So it's just a really good item for Alice to have. So I didn't actually start Waterstone this game. Right now we are kind of just making sure that we are doing everything we can to ensure we get to the late game. Wukong is cutting the lane here, but it's fine because we get Sentinel. He will have priority on the next rotation, which will be the next rotation for, or which will be the rotation for Dragon. But that's not really an issue, just because I don't think we're actually going to end up going for Dragon here. Yeah, you'll see my jungler just goes for his blue. Zane almost never goes for Dragon on his first rotation. If he can get Sentinel, they go back to his blue buff. It is just more efficient gold-wise not to take Dragon. You can farm a lot faster that way. You see I was waiting there just a little bit so I didn't end up soaking the XP from the Darcy. Thane charges in, but he definitely overstayed and overextended. His entire team is nowhere to be found. We land a nice little stun. Darcy follows it up with his ult, and he will go down. Now I'm just soaking as much as possible so I can hit level 4. You see I built my armor boots because they do have 2 ADCs, and now I am building towards my Ring of the Fiend. Things are definitely starting to take off. I'm finally for a very big power spike for Alice, and I'm just going to go ahead and just, you know, stroll on down. Wukong is very low. He does flicker and then dashes out. I throw down my ult for the slow, but unfortunately Crixie's little fairy hits at the same time, so I end up getting the kill. Not the best for us, but it's okay. It's not the worst either. I knew Thane or somebody was probably camping in that bush, but I didn't throw my stun out in time, so he did escape. It's fine. He did not really achieve too much with that. In fact, we got a nice little bit of poke, and he walks back into us. So Darcy does manage to tag him with another ult. I go ahead and throw my stun where he was going to be, and I throw down my ult on top of the Darcy just to make sure that Fennec will not be able to finish him off. Kali gets knocked up as well, so we will be able to get the kill on her. You see my camera kind of spazzes out a little bit there. Don't really know what happened, but it did cause me to throw my stun randomly. And then I get stunned. Unfortunately, I do believe Zane does fall here, but we managed to land a nice little stun, making sure we get the Lindis as revenge, and we are not done yet. Fennec pops his Purify. Thane lives with the smallest amount of HP until Violet flickers after him and manages to secure the kill onto him as well. Yes, him. That was a long altercation, guys. But you can see how good that enchantment came in. Like, I am able to do late game Alice things in the first, 4 minutes and 47 seconds of the match. That's great. Here we just walk up and make sure that we secure the tower. Fennec uses both of his rolls, so I know that he is screwed. I managed to land my stun, kind of predicting where he was going, and then just throwing my ult down in his path. That means that we can potentially get this buff, especially since we see Lindis and Wukong back around mid. Thane uses his ult way too early. Violet will be able to get this red buff, which is great for us. We are really low though, so we definitely need to go back. Zane will potentially need some jungle help here because Wukong and Lindis were just mid. They just saw us topside. So that could have been an opportunity for them to invade, but the enemy team actually didn't. So that's probably something to keep in mind is when you see the enemy team on the opposite side of the map making a play, you should, if you're already on the other side of the map, you should go for a play. Thane jumps in here, manages to get stunned, and then I ult, and then I stun him again, because that's just what Alice can do right now, guys. I don't know why more people aren't playing her. She is so strong. Kali lives with the smallest sliver of HP. The enemy team does get Dragon, but it's okay because we will trade for mid tower. Definitely worth here. Especially since they are continuing to push top, so we can take a second tier tower here as well. We see that Zenial and Crixie and Darcy all have their ultimates, so we can definitely take a fight here, especially since Lindis is so out of position. I'm just going to go ahead and throw my ult down where she will teleport, make sure that my team does as much damage as possible to one-shot her and make sure that she falls. We're just going to go ahead and make sure that Thane does not land his knock-up onto us. Wukong did not have vision of me walking into that bush, so I know he's going to jump over. I throw my stun out, and unfortunately I do get stunned, so I cannot pop my ring for the vision fast enough, and he will escape. Really, that was kind of a frustrating moment for me, but it's okay because we did manage to chunk him out a pretty decent bit, and that means that he will be forced to recall, and that will allow my team to go ahead and pressure the bot side of the map. I see Lindis and Kali are on me. I just go ahead and throw a stun down, make sure that they can't do anything too crazy, except the Kali ult does quite a bit of damage, and I was not able to flicker out in time. I guess I just wasn't paying attention really to my HP. Wukong is pushing in top, so my team is going to have to deal with that. I think my jungler's full rotation is going to be up fairly soon, and the only objective really that we can potentially get at the moment is Darkslayer. Our team really isn't set up for it. You can see Zenial pings that his ultimate is ready. We're just going to go ahead and try to make sure that we don't do anything too crazy until he relieves some pressure up top. I'm going to go ahead and flicker and throw down my ult, make sure that I'm helping as much as possible. I saw that Wukong walked into the bush on the left, so I go ahead and pop my ring so we can get vision onto him. He does kill the Crixie, but he immediately dies afterwards. I don't know what that stun was. That was like the worst stun in the history of my entire life, but Violet does flicker forward and manages to secure the kill. We get some pretty nice poke damage onto Thane and Kali, but we are not going to be able to finish off this tower because our wave is dead. Kali is really good at defending. Violet was pushing out bot, which was pretty smart on their part, and I'm just going to go ahead and walk up and zone as much as I can. Fennec is crazy and just walks into me. I'm just going to go ahead and help out Darcy as much as possible, making sure that Fennec isn't going to jump in, just waiting because I know that he can finish off the Thane. I don't really do damage. I peel. I popped my ring because the Wukong did go in, but unfortunately, I think he gets away. Violet just got like absolutely obliterated, and we were kind of separated because I was focusing on the Thane and Darcy fight. I am building towards my Aegis now after I have my Frosties, and I am so strong. Again, second worst stun of my life. But outside of those two stuns, honestly, it was like the greatest Alice game, right? Right now, I'm 4-1-13. That means 17 out of 19 kill participation. I don't know what percentage that is off the top of my head, but I think it's like 80% plus. Oh, it's definitely 80% plus. right? Math, I don't know, it's hard. So Thane walks way too far up. Darcy's really fed. Thane gets ulted and gets one shot. Story is old as time itself. Crixie is pushing out bots really far for some reason, even though half of our team was back. I think Violet was starting Dragon. Zenial was back doing his own thing. So she really needs to back up. Once we push out mid, I think we will go for the Dark Slayer here. I'm just walking forward, giving my team some vision. The Lindis walks into me. I'm just going to go ahead and throw my ult down. And I managed to land a nice little stun. And I'm not sure which kills her, but either the burn on my ult kills her or the stun kills her. And she goes kaput. We see that somebody was pushing top. Zenial immediately starts recalling, which means that we can potentially go for this Dark Slayer. I knew that Wukong was around, which is why I walked around. I was just checking the bushes, making sure he wasn't going to flank us. But then we got vision of him around bot side, so I immediately make my way towards him. I throw out my ult just to make sure that nobody else around can go for the steal. I stun the Thane up, and I will stun him again. And this, again, is just the power of that enchantment. Like, the fact that I have 40% CDR right now with only having one item, basically, is really, really strong. Darcy does a good job of tagging the Kali with his ultimate. I just go ahead and throw my ult down to follow that up, and she just pops. It was like a little water balloon versus a hydraulic press, you know? You guys know what I'm talking about? Did you guys ever watch the hydraulic press YouTube channel? It's pretty good stuff. I know it was like really viral for a while, and I've only seen like 2 videos, one with like Play-Doh and it like squirted everywhere like spaghetti. It was a great time. Anyways, back to the actual game. My team drops the dragon down mid, which is fine because we do have waves coming in. You can see we have a double cannon wave. The Thane is going super aggressive, and I'm just doing my best to protect the wave as much as possible. Darcy lands a really nice ult onto the Lindis, and he will get one shot. Wukong jumps in, I pop my ring and flicker out, living with just a sliver of HP, and my team will be able to end the game here, I believe. Actually, I think I'm wrong. It's going to take a second. Don't worry about it. So Thane goes in once again and once again gets caught out. I almost kill myself on the Kali pull on top of my pull because I didn't actually see that. I'm just doing my best to make sure that my team is doing as much as possible while I'm surviving, and the game will finally end here. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video as much as I did making it. Alice is probably one of my favorite supports to play, especially late game. Please be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you enjoy this type of content, and I will see you guys next time. See ya.